Whoop, 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 whoop. There you are,
Am I
Jan.
here?
You're here.
Good morning.
How are you?
Doing this is, I enjoyed the first time I did this, and now we're on the big screen.
Yeah, we're up on television.
Right. I didn't have time for a lot of work, tucks and stuff. So
You didn't try the string thing where you tie it around your neck? And I'm teasing.
No. Does Amazon sell those?
And the only reason I know about that was back when you and I were in radio, Debbie told us the story of the movie that she was in, of the actress that. Who was that woman?
No, see, now, if you hadn't asked me, I could have told you.
I didn't know that people did that.
Her. They said they taped her. They put tape in here and here, and then they went behind her and pulled it. Faye Dunaway.
Faye Dunaway done that.
See, at my age, the computer moves a little slower. It hadn't been defragged. It's all in there.
Thank y'all for joining. We do appreciate that this morning. This is Jan Bushman filling in for, of course, Candace, who is off this morning. Her son is headed off to the military. A special moment for her. She sent us a picture here. Let me see if I can pull this up of them at the airport just a few moments ago. Here it is.
She didn't look old enough to have a son, that age to go in the military.
Off they go, and no matter who you are, that's a very somber moment of your kid leaving for military.
Oh yeah, it's a somber moment when mine left for college. I can't imagine going into the military.
You threw a party, if I remember.
I think we did.
So you celebrated a birthday yesterday.
Yes.
And
how did it turn? Day.
Another day. That's all you're saying.
Just another day. I got out and worked in the yard, pretending it wasn't happening.
Any cake or anything?
No, but my grandchildren came over last night and brought me a little gift, and some stuff. So it's nice.
Are your grandkids watching this morning? Did you wake them up?
Probably not. I didn't wake them up.
Oh, come on, Jan.
Now, I will have to put a shout out to my twin brother in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Yeah.
He had a birthday yesterday, too. It works out that way.
The twin thing.
Yeah.
I've always, and I've never seen a picture of your brother because I was thinking two of Jan. How could that be?
No, we're not identical. No. Hey, when he was younger, my twin brother, I'm not kidding, he had the mustache and the dark hair. He looked like Cheech Marin.
Really?
I'm not kidding you.
Now, let me ask this, because I've never had anybody. Is it true that twins sense things?
Yes.
That is true?
Yes. When he was in the military and overseas, we had some events that happened that we didn't even know about. He got married over there in the same month that I got married the first time.
Weird.
And we didn't know about each other doing that. And there was times when he was sick, whatever, and I found out from family members, when I was sick, that he was sick at the same time. We've had some freaky stuff to happen.
What about your fourth marriage? Did y'all time it out the same?
Fourth marriage? I've been married twice.
No, you've been married now for what, 20?
We just celebrated 44 years.
You are kidding, Jan.
Well, I tell people it was an arranged marriage. I was only like 5,
40? So I'm 14 years. I've been married 30, and I thought that I had really accomplished
44
something.
years.
44
and the man's still alive. I hadn't killed him yet. So
that man deserves an honor, like a gold medal.
He does. Are you kidding? They don't call me St. Jan for nothing.
Yeah. Let's say some good mornings to a few folks that are up stirring today that have said hello to us. Let's see here. Miss Gail Gafford is headed south to Caroline today, who is listening. Also, Sammy McGinnis is watching. Morning, he says.
Morning.
Terry Carter is up.
Linda Payne, good morning to you from Lauderdale. Donna Roseman is watching.
Miss LaWanda is there tuning in to us from Porterville, Mississippi. And also Red Haney has got his eyes on us.
Somebody needs to watch us.
Yes, they do, don't they?
Lillian Ann Massey, Glenn, good morning.
Also, Milton Savell, and he says he's a twin also.
Well, good for him.
That's all you know to say about that, huh?
That's all I know to say about that.
Let's see. Roy T. Ellis is watching this morning. Also, Tajetta Chu tuning in this morning. Now, I did not have a chance yesterday to head down to the ceremony. We were finishing up here, but a big ceremony was held in downtown Meridian. I thought I'd share a few of the pictures. Chris Reed, the police chief, I think his wife actually took these pictures, and I was going to share a few of these that they put on Facebook. This is the Doughboy Monument where the ceremony was held. Beautiful, as we see the American flag draped there next to it. The veterans, a gorgeous shot. And I didn't realize there was a flyover.
I didn't know either.
So that looks really, really good. And, of course, our mounted patrol.
I love our mounted patrol.
That's some big old Clydesdale.
That's some big old Clydesdale. I know some women with legs like that. I didn't see that.
He's got it slipped out, huh? But this is a glimpse of what was held in downtown Meridian yesterday. And I do hope you made it out, because our veterans are really what make those who gave all what our country is.
They're not given enough credit. These, everybody's out for themselves, and they forget about these guys who served, the ones who died,
Right.
to give us the freedoms that we have. I don't know if you know it or not, but Bill Bushman is retired Marine Corps.
Did not realize
years. 23 years.
And why do so many people get upset about kneeling? Well, that flag, because of the lives that were given to it. And if you ever go back and read the true story of Francis Scott Key, of how all of that came about, in the morning, waiting to see if that flag was still up when it was bombarded all night long, is touching, because so many people lost their lives from the folks that were General George Washington.
Exactly. I still say we live in the greatest country in the world.
We do.
And, it hadn't always been good stuff, good, bad, whatever.
Right.
But we have survived, and
We've tweaked it. We've gotten better as we go along.
You live and learn. So.
Yeah, you do, and that's what America is. It's a melting pot, and I do wish everybody that that comes to this country has the opportunity to be a citizen, but I think it needs to be legal, and that's one of the biggest controversies that are out there.
Don't even get me off on that stuff.
But you're on the same wavelength I am. We welcome everyone, so long as you do it the legal way.
The legal way. Don't jump ahead of the line.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a shame, the stuff that's going on.
So did y'all do a big cooking this weekend? Did y'all throw down and cook up?
All of our best friends were out of town. My daughter and her husband took the children and went whitewater rafting over in Alabama somewhere. It was just the two of us at home.
Woo, Jan.
I mean, it was quiet, so we got a lot of work done in the yard and put around.
So what color do you call that shirt?
Coral.
It's becoming of Jan, don't y'all think?
Thank you.
I like that.
I'm usually, you can't have too many white shirts or too many, pairs of jeans,
Right.
Black, white, beige, and jeans. I'm good to go anywhere in about 5 minutes. I had to dig for some color this morning.
We were talking before we went on of the mask thing, of just how, where there was a lot of people, I guess, that ladies that didn't do the makeup there for a while because of the mask. But you, on the other hand, said, no way, no how.
No way. I got to be prepared. We were talking about you guys get up, then take a shower, brush through your hair. Well, some of you do. And you don't have to do a thing. We have to get up and slap a face on. Particularly at my age, I have to put eyes on. And
Oh, come on, Jan. I'm sure you look the same without that.
I know. I could tell you a story. Years and years ago, I was having Lynn Shelton. I don't know if you know the name.
Yeah, I know Lynn.
Came to my old house, and I was having carpet put in. He showed up before I had the face on. And here I stay in my flannel, my chenille bathrobe and no face, no. And he said, "I'm sorry, I was looking for the Bushman residence." And I said, "Lynn, it's me." He didn't even know me.
So I take it you never let him live that down either.
No, and we don't talk about that anymore. It was bad.
So they
That's
just kind of
been
went
years ago.
under the rug, so to speak.
Yeah.
Ooh, have
A
mercy.
little bit. I call this artwork.
Artwork.
Yeah, and I've developed my talent through the years.
Jan and I have known, I would,
Lordy.
is it over 30 years?
Not over 30, but a good 25 to 30 years.
And it truly seems like yesterday.
Oh, I know.
Of how time has just zipped
Well,
by.
it has been over 30. I forget I retired 5 years ago.
Jan.
And that was 9 years in TV and then 16 and a half years in
Yeah,
radio.
so we have known.
And
Look at
we
that.
were just children then.
I went to your 29th birthday party
Yes, you did, didn't you?
several times.
Several times.
It was a good time, though.
You know what I've done? I've trained my grandchildren really, really well. They used to say, "Oh, that's my Nana. She's only 45." Well, my daughter's going to be 47 in July.
So how's it working out?
I've told them just to make me, 54-ish.
She's in her mid-50s, and we'll leave it at that this
Exactly.
morning.
They dropped my daughter off. I thought she was a puppy. She was dropped off at my doorstep, and I raised her.
Oh, my gosh. You know who else? You had a birthday yesterday, and I found this interesting of people, famous people that are having birthdays today. Do you remember this young lady?
Marilyn Monroe.
1926 is when she was born.
I think I have a dress like that.
Have you? But that accident turned into probably one of the most famous photos of all time is when that blew up her
When that
skirt.
blew up her skirt, right?
And it's just stood the test of time.
Well, I think she was making a movie, and that happened, and they kept it in there.
Yeah. Also, this is one of my favorites here having a birthday today.
Andy Griffith.
He is just like the legend of all time. Andy Griffith, he was also born in 1926. And, from what I understand, Mayberry was kind of roughly sort of made from his hometown, the figment of his...
Exactly. I'll tell you something funny, though. I look at this picture of Andy Griffith, and my oldest brother, when he was much younger, looked so much like Andy Griffith.
Really?
It's not funny, yeah.
A lot of
My
similarities.
brother looked like Cheech Marin. My oldest brother looked like Andy Griffith.
You look at these two people here. You have Marilyn Monroe, who went down in history, and you have Andy Griffith, who went down in history also. But they are two opposites of how they went down. Andy went down in the hearts of Americans as the friendly guy. Yeah. And Marilyn's life was cut short from drug abuse. She was famous, and it makes you wonder, if you had to choose, I think I would go the way Andy did.
We all have choices to make in life.
Yeah.
And you got to think ahead,
And Norma Jean did not.
She did not think ahead.
And she died at such an early age. Whoo, boy.
Shame.
Also, 10 years later or so, this guy come along.
Love me some Morgan Freeman.
Now,
I've never seen him in a bad movie.
No, he is not. He really picks great parts, even back to the Electric Company.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that? Yeah. When he dressed up in the little suit? I remember as a kid watching that. He'd have the organs on it to show you the Electric Man.
You must be older than me.
You honestly don't remember that?
I don't.
That was the first time I saw him. I remember as a kid sitting there, 3, 4 years old, him being on the Electric. That's how he got his start.
Now, doesn't he have a restaurant or something
Yes.
in Mississippi somewhere up in the Delta?
In the Delta. We did a video there, Deb and I did years ago, of Waiting on Joe, Steve Azar. And Morgan hosted it.
Really?
And he was such a nice guy. One of those guys to where if he was eating and somebody come up and wanted his autograph, he would stop eating and be so polite. He was never rude.
He was such a nice guy.
He is, truly. Anything that you ever heard about Morgan Freeman, folks, he is the man. He is a good fella. Also, do you remember this guy?
Oh, yeah, Ronnie Dunn. And one of my favorite groups is Brooks and Dunn.
Yeah. He's celebrating a birthday today as well. He is a super nice guy. I give him thumbs up also. I met him several times. This was number one in 1959. I know you weren't around when this song came out.
Way before my time.
But the Battle of New Orleans was number one on this date in 1959. Yeah. Also, in 72, can you believe the Eagles released their first album? And out of that came Take It Easy.
No, I remember them.
Yeah, I bet you do. 1980, believe it or not, was the first time we'd ever seen news done this way. CNN launched upon this day in 1980 and had 24-hour news for the first time. It was totally different. It took America by storm, and they were really the leading edge for many years until they became...
Well, they used to be journalists.
Yes, they did.
They're not anymore.
No, it is not. It's an agenda.
Yes.
1992, I remember seeing you shaking a leg to this out back of the radio station. Yeah. It was number one, Achy Breaky Heart. And wow.
You've got to admit, it was a catchy tune.
It was. Yeah. And, Billy Ray, you have to really, he was such a super nice person. And I remember going to Nashville to different events, and people would pick on Billy Ray. And I felt sorry for him. They really gave him a hard time because he was such a nice Southern guy. Now, he's had his issues with his daughter. God bless him. I don't know how he handles that. Also, other events that happened. Helen Keller passed away on this date back in 1968. Also, Lisa Hartman Black has a birthday. And I don't know much about Heidi Klum, but she's famous and having a birthday today.
Oh,
so what do you think about that?
She's a supermodel or whatever.
Is that what she does?
Yeah. And I think she's on, or has been on, America's Got Talent.
Oh, well, let's take a minute and talk about our friend Joe. You've known Joe as long as I have.
Love Joe.
And if you want special bargains on your groceries, this is where you go. Out there this week, strawberries, $2.99. You can take advantage of this along with if you're looking to make a pie, blueberries, $2.99 for that pint. Also, if you want to do some corn, you can get the 3 years for $1.99. Also, fresh green onions, a bunch, 59 cents. You can take advantage of the Valdelia onions, $2.49.
Oh, yum.
Those are good now mixed in. Baby Ray's, if you're doing some barbecue and still need some more.
My favorite.
Doesn't it taste good?
It's good stuff.
Along with the A1, or maybe you're looking for the Heinz 57, $3.49 for that. Take advantage of the ketchup. $2.99 for that 38-ounce bottle there. A lot. That Gatorade keeps you cool during these summer months. And also Dixie Crystals. Boy, I got to have it for my coffee.
You gotta have your sugar.
Also, you can take advantage of T-bone steaks, $11.99 for a family pack, a pound, along with a Boston butt, $1.79. A few of these specials here, baby back ribs. Now, this is just a few of the examples from Coca-Cola to water. Where do you find it? All at the Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville. Drop in and see Joe today. He'll help you out.
My family is the most important thing in my life. I don't have a high-paying job, and I'm proud that I always put raising my kids above everything else. But when I got into a serious car accident, I needed money. The surgeries cost more than I make in a year, so I called Richard Schwartz. He got me the money I deserved. I'm Darrell from Jackson, Mississippi, saying thank you, Richard.
Remember, I'm your Mississippi attorney, Richard Schwartz. I'm here for you. One call, that's all.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray Candace. Candace has the morning off if you're wondering, where is she and who is this lady next to me? I was going to say
Hot Mama. Right?
Hot Mama. That's really what I was going to say. We do appreciate Jan for dropping in this morning and spending a few time with us. A big thank you to everybody that is watching online. Harriet Harper, one of your friends there, saying hello to you.
I'm so glad she's headed back home. That's my shopping buddy.
That's your shopping buddy?
Yeah, but she bring the grandkids with her, so there will be a cover charge at my pool for those grandkids, so get ready.
If you're watching for the first time on television, one of the newest things, the way technology is done, we can now communicate with you. If you'll go to Facebook and look up Scotty Ray's Weather or YouTube, you can talk to us as we're live on television and communicate if you've got something that you want to pass along. We'd love to hear from you. Jerry Wayne Tucker, I'll have to get into what he's got something coming to town in Newton next week. We'll look into that. Morning to Ray Gafford. Chris Scully is up.
Oh, my goodness.
Thank you.
Teresa Miner, good morning to you. Kim Volking. I
Yeah.
hope I said that name right.
Yeah, I believe that's right. And also Elmer Talbert watching this morning. So thank y'all. I hadn't watched a lot of this show, but I understand that Mississippi is making it big as we pull up this headline here from the HGTV's Hometown Stars, Aaron and Ben. Now, this is huge, is it not?
I mean, this little Mississippi town, couple has done real well.
And they have had a child, and this is the baby here they've done the old Polaroid snapshots to release a picture of the baby.
Now, this is their second child. They
Yes.
have a little girl named, I want to say Helen's her name. Can you tell I'm an HGTV fan?
I can tell you know too much.
Well, and it leads to a lot of projects at home.
Now, don't they have a store and all in Laurel?
They have, he's Scottish, and it's called the Scotsman or something like that, and it's down by the railroad tracks there. In Laurel, and big woodworking place anyway. But they now are doing a new project where they're taking over towns. And I've just been watching this little town over in Alabama. They went in and redid all the storefronts, and I mean, it's amazing what they can do.
And these are the two that we're talking about here. And again, making Mississippi proud. That is so great. I remember when it first came out, they put up a couple of billboards and said, hey, watch this, see if you like them. And they've just done exceptionally well.
Really
So it's always good to see somebody from our state make it big.
I want to say he's the son of a preacher.
Really?
It's just a good, it's a good show. It's a good
So check it out if you get a chance.
It's nice to have something on TV you can watch without politics and
No
trash
cussing and all
language
that.
and all that stuff. So I'm a big fan of it.
So right here in our hometown there, and here's another shot of them I'll show you there by the old pickup truck. Everybody's got to do a pickup truck shot. And there they are there.
There it is. It's called the Scotsman
Yeah.
Company. That's his thing there. I want to make a road trip down there. I tell my husband I want to make a road trip.
Well, I'd like to
Drive
go
around.
because I'd like to see it. And Laurel is not that far from here.
No.
What, 40 miles maybe, something like that?
What is it, about a 45-minute to an hour
Yeah,
drive?
at
Something like that.
most. So check that out if you're going to be in the Laurel area
Road
sometime.
trip, let's go.
Yeah, I'm all for that. Lunch and all those kind of good things. A few of the things happening this morning here is, and I almost find this, and you being a lady, I cannot fit into something that I owned probably 12 years ago because, well, I've grown a little bit.
Well,
I don't think you've put on a pound since the last time I saw you.
I retired and lost weight, which is
Really?
really weird.
That
Yeah.
is,
Yeah, but I'm back to about the size I was when I first got married 44 years ago.
woo.
So I can still fit into my wedding gown.
Well, I'm on the opposite side of that with the rest of us that eat Little Debbie snack cakes. I'm with y'all.
Here's the thing.
Talk to me.
When I worked, I had a snack drawer. And the topic, I think last time I
Yes.
talked about this, it was in the morning. Okay, where are we going for lunch? You know,
You had to plan your day.
it was just, everything was focused around that, eating. And now I get busy at home working in the yard and I forget to eat.
Well, this lady must be doing the same thing. Who remembers Shania Twain from back in the 90s? She done a video where she done a mock to the Robert Palmer video.
Yes, yeah.
She says, and she looked great in that outfit, but she says that she can still wear this. Look at this. This is the outfit that she had back in the 90s, and she goes, yep, I can still wear it. Can you believe that?
She's probably had some stuff tucked. I don't know.
Well, wait a minute.
She might be a real health nut.
I'm not sure she's not pulling our leg. Look at that picture and look at that picture. Jan.
She got some thighs.
That's what I'm thinking here. She's
Got some ham hocks.
she may not be telling the whole truth of this matter. We want to see. But that's one of the breaking stories they had this week about Shania being able to. And if you can do that, I bumped into somebody the other day who said, hey, I can still wear my cheerleader outfit from when I was in high school. And I thought, woo, don't put nothing on me from high school. I mentioned this also this morning because this is one of these things that are going around America that is changing with, and a lot of it's going to go in July. That I know out in California it's been happening where they legalize marijuana.
Exactly.
Now, I think you and I both agree that for medical purposes, I'm okay with marijuana if it helps somebody.
Yeah.
It helps people with Alzheimer's or
Alzheimer's
that has that
stuff like
where you
that.
shake.
Hodgkin's.
Yeah.
One of those.
And it helps. But just to smoke marijuana, I'm not so sure. But there are tons of dogs, and I don't know what they'll do with them if they're going to give these to other states or if they're going to retire
They used them
them.
to sniff it out and find illegal
Yeah.
drugs and stuff like that. Now, walk down the neighborhood. Okay, somebody's got. You going to grow any out here in your backyard?
No, I think I'm going to keep away from that.
Purposes?
And I've just never been that type person. I know there's a lot of people that think there's nothing wrong with it, but I on the other hand, was always taught that no to that.
I don't want to be out of control.
Right. I don't,
I've got better things to spend my money on.
Yeah, I don't know what it really does to you
I don't know either.
because I've never been there. I've never
interested me.
The roughest thing that I've ever done that my mama didn't like was I smoked cigarettes when I was younger. Yeah, I did. I admit that, but that's as far as I ever went. But now you've got all of these dogs that are going to be retired at the end of this month. Where do they go?
They can be retrained,
I don't know.
to sniff out
Other problems?
crazy people. I don't know.
But looking for that, it might be a good thing to adopt one of these with these little fellows there.
Yeah, that's
Let's
a
see
good
here.
idea.
Let's see. George Matthews watching that from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Must be
My
kin to
twin
you.
brother.
Well, hello there, George.
George Landis.
Glad to have
Right
you.
there watching.
Harvey Cleveland joins us, also watching us this morning as we move along. This is a tragedy, and I had never heard of these people until this weekend. Apparently, there's a lady that has this huge, she's a Christian lady.
Mm-hmm.
She helped start a church, and she had a diet program.
Right.
And they were going to one of the Make America Great Again campaigns for Monday, and when they took off from Nashville, their plane crashed. And she had married the guy that played Tarzan in the 1990 movies. And here's the headline as we look at this. They have not found all the bodies yet.
Great.
They were in
How
a
many passengers?
7 passengers.
That's a shame.
And here's the scene where they're working,
my.
but here she is, and this is the plane that they crashed in. Now
She looks familiar. I just can't place her.
It had to be big,
Oh yeah.
but maybe because I hadn't been dieting.
Well, hello.
Right, as you can
Either.
tell. But here's the plane that crashed, and it was a jet. This was not a Cessna, a twin plane.
Right.
This was a
twin prop.
prop. That's the
At first
word.
I knew the word prop.
Yeah, I am. But as you look at this, and you hate to just put this out there, but most of the airplane wrecks that happen end up being people that fly themselves and not professionals that do it every day for a living. JFK, you go back and look at that. He was piloting his own plane. Not to say that they don't know what they're doing. They just don't do it every day like a pilot.
Here's something, and I don't know why I'm just thinking of this, looking at this plane. Friends of ours that sit with us in church, he has his pilot's license.
Right.
He just bought a new plane, and it has its own parachute.
Really?
It says if the engines go out, it can lower him to, it'd be like falling like 10 feet is the way it would feel.
So could that be the new safety feature in the future that would save lives?
That's the only plane his wife would let him get.
Well,
It'd be a safety feature in there, something to float her down.
Now, I love flying, but I have no desire to learn to fly. I like sitting there watching them do what they do. I don't trust myself.
I would probably enjoy it, really.
It just ain't my
I'm a little
thing.
bit of a daredevil. I love to fly. Fly.
It is neat. And although I am scared of heights, that does not spook me one iota. It's like, honestly, if you've never flown, and I know there's a lot of people that have never flown in an airplane before, it is literally like sitting in a car and it takes off and 0 to 60, you know how we used to drag race?
That
and then it
sensation when you take off. And I love it. I don't like my ears popping.
I remember Jed Clampett saying, boy, I think this bus is going so fast it's going to take off in the air. I don't know if you saw that episode or not.
No.
That was funny. Granny and Jed flying for the first
I did have
time.
a car at one time that felt like it was going to
It'd move, huh?
Yeah, I had a Corvette
Oh, Jan.
convertible.
But that was pretty. What year was that?
It was the last of the big 454 engines. It would fly.
70s?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Those were gorgeous. That was what we would call the Corvette that Pam Ewing drove. You remember the black one she used to drive?
Exactly.
Those are beautiful cars.
Funny thing about that, talking about the Colonial Pipeline thing, my first husband and I were friends with the son of the president of Colonial Pipeline, and he sent us to Atlanta to buy this car right off the
When he got there?
floor. Yeah, $4,700
For a Corvette?
for a Corvette.
So, Jan, let's really talk about how old you are if you bought a Corvette for $4,700. Brand new
It's
$4,700?
in the 70s,
Sure.
and I bought it while I with my allowance money
Your allowance money.
and just tucked it away.
So, have you got any pictures of you in the car?
No. Well, you know what?
Because, you know, it is.
But they were with my first husband.
They ain't coming back.
No.
They're gone.
Yeah.
But always neat to look back on pictures and look at the way things used to be. A
You look
Corvette
back
for.
at some of the hair and the clothes, and you think, what were we thinking?
And I really thought forever and a day that those bell-bottom pants were gone. And then I woke up one morning, I went down to Meridian, and they were everywhere on the corner.
They're back. I've got two pair.
And then the Chevron britches, that design came out of nowhere. You know, with the, you know, it's like a W on britches, and they call it the Chevron design. I thought that had went away forever.
No.
It's back too. So let me ask this: you're a lady. You had children. Is it really true? They've done a survey here, and they've done research on this of ladies. And ladies, I'm talking to you out there. Y'all know more about this than I do. Sleepless nights with your kids. Does it really? They're saying that it is equivalent to taking 7 years of aging off of you, keeping up with your kids at night when they're babies there, when they're sleeping, waiting for that cry.
What's amazing is how a mother is tuned in and can hear that child, cry. I don't know.
Now, Angie, I didn't hear them. I'm going to be honest. Angie always said that I could sleep through a tornado. But she, on the other hand, was awake.
Exactly. I'd go in and watch them breathing and sleeping to make sure they were okay. You just do. You have that fear. That little infant is dependent on you, and you just want to protect it. So that's a mother's instinct.
And I'm a dad, and I'm not running down dads, and I'm sure there's some out there that did. Okay, maybe did a little bit more than me in helping with that early part. But Angie took control, and I didn't stand in the way.
Which was a smart move on your part.
But, you brought up an interesting thing, and I hadn't heard much about this lately. But if there's some type of thing when babies are really, really young, where they would stop breathing, the crib, what's that called?
It's called crib death.
And mothers do watch to make
exactly, And I don't know that much about it, but it happens. And
but I am right.
Exactly. So you just want to make sure that baby's okay.
But there's nothing stronger than a mother's love, without a doubt out there. Good morning to Miss Ann Cook. That's my buddy there.
Oh, I don't know Ann.
I like Ann. She's a sweetheart. Always been a really, really gem of a nice lady there. Let's see here. Other headlines that are happening this morning. This takes guts. Say that there's a governor of the state. He leaves for a week and appoints when he steps out, the lieutenant governor has to step into place while they're gone. Well, while the governor was gone, the lieutenant governor got rid of the mask mandate. And
good for him.
Yeah, she's going to run for governor next year, and I think that was a stunt.
Good shot at it.
Exactly, and that's what she was after, was showing, look, I can change things even though the governor won't, and I'm going to beat him. So y'all be ready for that in Idaho.
That's good.
Pretty neat little trick there. I want to say something happened like that in Mississippi years ago, and I can't remember the whole story and nothing but the story. Do you know Gene Simmons from Kiss? Do you remember that?
Yes.
Now he got
That tongue.
yes.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist it.
You had to do
I
it?
thought of,
But I don't know if he had a TV show, and I watched maybe 2 or 3 episodes of it. And that man is nothing concerned about nothing but money. Everything in his life revolves. And he got kicked out of Fox News. He went up for an interview and then started going through all the boardrooms and just walking in.
I didn't know that.
And he's been banned from Fox News of ever returning being a guest due to that. But he makes headlines again. He's leaving California because of all of the way it's run. He's moving to Las Vegas and selling their home, and they're going to get out of there. $8 million could buy you Gene Simmons' home.
well, let's go in together and just make that a vacation home.
Wow.
Wonder what kind of rent money we could get for a vacation or something.
That is, I'd hate to even think what interest on $8 million would be to buy a home, Jan.
Well, the interest rates are low, Scotty Ray.
Just go ahead and take advantage of it.
Go ahead and take advantage.
So, and I'll admit this because I was, as well as most people do, I was country. I could not name one Kiss song. If it was like they were to say, name that song for $1 million, I couldn't tell you.
Couldn't tell you. Well, honest to God, that's a lot of the music these days, You hear it, well, I've never heard that. And the stuff, we used to have music that you could sing to or you knew
Exactly.
the words to. And now half of them, you don't even know what they're saying. So
Deborah J made a comment where we were talking about the babies there. She said she could remember the little fingernails on the sheets, that she could hear that in the middle of the night and get up.
I don't know what that. I think the good Lord gives mamas an extra sense, to pick up on
Moms-
stuff like we know stuff. And even
Oh,
as they
mama's
get
got-
older, we know stuff.
Mom's got eyes in the back of their head. And I'm sure that as a kid, knowing you as an adult, you had to have some teenage.
I was a good kid.
Jan, I cannot believe you didn't sneak out the house and try to
will
fool your
say,
mama.
and my twin brother will verify this. My mother used to say you could add all 5 of the others together, and they weren't as much trouble as I was as a child.
I can believe that.
I was into some stuff. Not bad stuff, but, I'd go in and take mother's calcium pills and split them open and her expensive cold cream smear all over the bed.
Just to do it.
Oh, and the biggest thing was setting fire in the basement. We were playing
How'd
cowboys.
you do that?
Well, we were playing cowboys and Indians, and my daddy was in the newspaper business and stored newspapers down there for a dental friend of his. A veterinarian friend of his. I just said that'd be a good place to make a bonfire.
And you started a fire?
Oh, yeah.
What kind of whooping did you get?
Yeah, well, when your daddy gets home, you know that Jose.
Ooh, I bet that was bad.
I remember that one.
Yeah, some things stick with you when you get that.
Yeah.
And, a lot of that has gone south in America. It's just discipline.
Exactly.
And that is when there is never a consequence for what you do,
Exactly.
causes people to run wild.
That's what's going on with, a lot of these kids now. Here's what gets me is parent living vicariously through their children. Well, I didn't have that, so I want to make sure my child has that. We were always taught you earn stuff. It teaches
Right.
you the value of a dollar. It motivates you to work hard or, behave yourself.
Right.
better. They're not getting that at home now. It's just give, and now they're going to grow up in a society that I'm due. Everybody
Yeah.
owes me.
And nobody owes you anything. Trust me on it, they don't. As we go to another headline story, we look at this, a Texas man, and I'm glad they caught this. So many times it has not been caught. As we go to Fox News, a Texas man was arrested for allegedly plotting a terror plan at a Walmart. He had planned on shooting. He's in jail now. And it's so many times that is not caught beforehand. So we applaud the Texas police for putting an end to that before it began.
What amazes me just in general is how they can detect terrorist movements or gang things that are planned out and head them off. That's, we don't give our police forces and detectives and people like that enough credit for the hard work they do.
And, a lot of times the information is right in front of you these days because people put it on in social media.
Social media, this is what we're going to do. Look what we did. I'm thinking, dummy.
Yeah, watch the bad guys on the social media.
Exactly.
That is really one of those. Let's see here. Did you ever date a mama's boy?
No.
You didn't?
No.
Okay, I was just checking there. But we go to our next line here. He's a mama's boy. And a woman is left stunned after she discovered that her boyfriend's mother has a scary list of rules for dating her son. And you go down this, and he's not your ATM is one of the things that she put on there. And she actually left this for this woman.
Yeah.
If you show up at my house looking like a stripper, I'll make you go away. So dress.
Oh, my.
If I see it, and I guess she's been reading this text.
Oh, my God.
So no little sneaky text between you two.
Yeah.
Understand that I can make you go away, the mother said. He's a mama's boy. Unless you have a ring on your finger, your opinion does not matter.
Oh, my gosh. You're not in charge of him. It's up to you to change him. What? Take him for who he is. Oh, in other words, you
See
can't
rule
change
number
him.
5.
Take him, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a gentleman. I taught him that. You better act like a lady and deserve that.
And I know how to avoid jail. So this is,
Is that a threat?
it's almost like the water boy. You know,
Yeah, I remember. I love that. That was good.
it really kind of falls into it. And I'm sure there's nightmare stories out there from daughter-in-laws that have married some mama's boys because they're out there.
Well, now I will say this: if you find a guy who is respectful of his mother and treats her well,
Right.
that's a good indication of how he's going to treat you. There's a line though that it crosses when let me check with mama and see what I need to let you do.
And that does happen out there. You hear those stories a lot. And I won't talk about, okay, I'll drop that one. Let's see here.
My husband and I were talking about this. The liberal media has finally admitted that they made a mistake dismissing the Wuhan lab thing.
Just because Trump backed it.
Backed it. Hello. It's pathetic.
They really put, if you get down to it, they put our country at risk by not telling you the truth of what was going on across America, where it began. And, you know, an investigation has gone on, and it worries me with investigations. And, you know, this is just my opinion, but when you've got a country where people are making so much money off of China, do they really want the report to turn out a certain way to make China look bad? That worries me. Will there really the truth come out of that?
I don't know. You know, you have a lot of athletes that are.
Yeah. Do you remember the athlete, was it last week that got on there and apologized
Exactly.
to China? He was a basketball player or something.
I don't know.
That worries me.
It should worry you.
And so y'all keep that in mind. Again, I've said this before on here.
Where is Hunter Biden? Just saying.
Yeah, he's hiding out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Let's take a minute and talk about our friends at Master Flo Plumbing. And what they do is take care of people all the way from Hattiesburg to the Mississippi Gulf Coast. If you've got an issue with your plumbing, they're the folks to talk to. They can do so much. Say you've got a home that was built prior, somewhere between 92 to 95. Chances are you could have some metal pipe in your slab where they built it. If there's a problem, they can go tunnel under your home, fix it, put it back together. Here's an example of having to redo a line out front. If you've got an issue and there's nothing worse than having a company coming over and, well, no one can use the restroom. Yeah, that's not good.
That's not a good thing.
Pictures being here of where they had to put together a pipe. This is a line that had to replace, and this happens. Roots grow through your pipes after a few years. You've been there a few years, it'll happen. This is underneath the home to where the pipes have rusted out, as you can see there. This is it above there where they done it, and this is where they took it down. That's what will happen underneath that soil. This is before they knew better, and they put pipe in the ground. Well, they can fix all that, and it causes this issue here of the slab leak. And you don't want that in your home. Maybe you just need a faucet redone. They do all that. Galen can fix it all if it deals with plumbing. Now, when it comes to getting your pipes cleaned out, $125, and it's guaranteed for 60 days, and no service charge. That's all it costs for them to do that. They'll take care of you. From water heaters to getting your toilets fixed to putting in, well, that's right, they take care of tile too. See them. They'll build a shower for you and make it look wonderful. That's Master Flo Plumbing. If it deals with plumbing, they'll take care of it. See them today. They're licensed and insured 36 years. They can fix anything plumbing. Call them at 228-870-0471.
Seasonal changes can have a big effect on your energy use. When outside temperatures soar either up or down, your heating and cooling system works overtime to maintain a comfortable temperature inside your home, regardless of whether you ever touch your thermostat settings. But there are easy, inexpensive ways you can stay in control of your energy use. Visit emepa.com for energy-saving tips today. East Mississippi Electric Power Association is your local Touchstone Energy cooperative.
One call at a time. when you needed help. Call Richard Schwartz, one call at a time.
I'm sure at some point today, numbers will come out from the Mississippi Highway Safety Patrol of deaths and things that we had. It ended at midnight last night to get our numbers. Tragedy, of course. Our hearts go out to our trooper that was killed in a tragic accident Friday morning. Horrible. It is. Our thoughts to his family. Also, you know, we lost the 15-year-old girl here just south of town on Thursday afternoon in an automobile accident. Horrible. We lost the gentleman that was in North Mississippi, I know, an 18-wheeler accident, and there have been numerous other wrecks. I don't know what the total is going to be for the state. It's just sad as we go into weekends like this. And a lot has to do with there was more people on the road. People weren't used to that many people and not paying attention.
I don't know if you've noticed the increase in traffic.
It has.
People have been shut down so long, and they're anxious to get out, particularly with the pretty weather.
It is.
You have to be careful.
And we go across the state line for this next story here of a mom, 37, and her 3 children lost their lives in an Alabama wreck. They were headed to the graduation party for her oldest daughter, and they ran into a lake, and they lost their lives. Our hearts go out to that family also. Tragedy. It's how do you word it? I'm at a loss of words as to what
that's
you
what I was
put.
going to say. It's just so hard to even know what to say in a situation like that. It just breaks your heart for them.
It is. We say good morning also, and I want to, and you help me if I'm saying this wrong. Lisa Camario, am I saying that right? She's watching us from Philadelphia. Did I get close, Lisa?
Camario. It
Camario?
sounds Italian, doesn't it?
It may be.
Camario.
So we appreciate you watching, Lisa. And hopefully I didn't mess your name up too bad. If I did, I apologize there. But thank you for watching. We see these stories across the nation all the time to where, well, there's a fling and a teacher gets in trouble for having contact with a student. This one went to the extreme. She was arrested and she committed suicide 2 days later after it was found out that she had had an affair with a 15 and 16-year-old, a 44-year-old teacher.
I don't understand that. I don't. How does that even happen?
I don't know. That is, and it's not just men. The common things are, it's men chasing the ladies, but not so.
No.
It's on both sides of this
Honestly,
fence.
It seems like you've heard more about the female teachers than you have the male teachers.
Yeah.
Either that, or that's what the media is putting out there. They don't want to tell you about all these
Right.
weirdo men.
But years ago, either it was not put in the media, maybe it wasn't, that we just didn't know it. That social media has enhanced all of this to where we know this more. But back in the 80s, I just don't remember ever hearing many stories about this. All right, if you're sitting here watching going, I think I still feel young. I remember listening to a song. I was mostly country, but I remember a guy that sang a song called Little Pink Houses for You and Me. Yeah, John Cougar Mellencamp was his name at the time.
I was going to say, yeah, I remember the middle name, John Cougar Mellencamp.
And there's a headline today, and I am just floored that John Cougar, look at this. I would have, he's 69 years old. What in the world has happened? John Cougar, 69 years old.
Time flies.
Would you have thought he's that old? It shocks
He's older
me.
than me then.
Well, there you go. John Cougar.
He doesn't even look the same though.
He was huge, and I can't think of the rest of his songs, but Jack and Jill, Jack and Diane. Little ditty about Jack and Diane. But 69 years
That's
old.
the only one I remember of his. I just,
Poor Jan. Now, Cuba, do you remember the actor Cuba Jr.? I didn't even know that this.
Jr., yeah.
Did you know he had charges against him?
No.
Here he is. He's in the news. He's living up, and he's got charges. This was during the Me Too movement. It's 2 or 3 ladies that have stepped up and said that he raped them. And that is alleged. It hasn't been proven, but he's not holding back. He's going out in public as charges are pending against him. One of the ones was that he took him up to his hotel room, and he was just going to change clothes, and she said that he raped her during that.
Well,
We don't know. A lot of times, accusations aren't always what they seem.
just,
Innocent until proven.
investigate, instant
Yeah.
proven guilty. But a lot of times where there's smoke, there's fire.
But you you go to the Brett Kavanaugh thing. All that was fabricated.
Exactly. So
I don't know.
Due process, have people forgotten about due process in the law?
But you go back to many celebrities that supported Trump, their careers were torn apart because they supported him. While others, on the other hand, done other what I would consider bad things. You take Madonna, who said that. Oh, you remember that in that speech?
I remember, yeah.
And nothing happened to her.
I thought about blowing up the. Nothing happens.
Okay, I just got corrected by somebody from Scuba, Mississippi that says 69 is not old.
No, 69 is the new 35.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go with that.
But John Cougar just didn't look like I had in my head. Now, I believe if you do wrong, you should serve your time.
Exactly.
This is America. If you do wrong, you should. But this brings into question. Look at this headline here, Jan. He's 70 years old. He's serving life for robbing a Taco Bell in 1981. He stole $264, and he is still in jail for $264.
I don't understand that.
During COVID, there was murderers that were released from prison.
Yeah.
200.
No bail.
Yeah.
What's going on with all this stuff? I mean, it's just crazy.
But does this man deserve to get out? I think he served his time for $264. Hopefully this time he'll get out. It's almost to some degree
weird. That's overkill.
He's lost in the system, so to speak. But I do hope that's a mistake at a young age. So we hope
How
that
was he? He's 70 now. And he's been there
since 1981. So you take 20, that'd be 40 years. So he was 30 years old when he went to prison for $264.
You don't know the circumstances or anything.
But nobody was hurt, it says.
I just don't understand.
Life for that. Now, I don't know. We'll watch that and see.
You don't get life for murder much anymore.
I know.
Ridiculous.
So as we move, the world's most expensive car, what is it nowadays? I saw this story a couple of days ago, and I thought, well, the Rolls Royce is it. They're pretty cars, but it's called the Boat Tail. If you've got about $34 million, you too can own a Rolls Royce.
I don't know. That's money to burn.
I ain't got over a pickup truck costing $75,000. That's just that's way too much.
That's just crazy.
But I guess if you've got the money and it's not an object, you go get what you want.
That some of these celebrities spend on luxury items and stuff like that. They could pay off the national debt.
Yes, they could.
And they'll get out there and politicize everything and talk against this and this. That. Put your money where your mouth is. Do some good. You want to help this country? Put your money where your mouth is.
Another thing that popped in my mind was MC Hammer when you said that. He was one of the rich. He had $54 million back in about 1990. Mm-hmm. He blew it all and had, I think, like $20 when it was all over. Lost everything he had. He's turned his life around now. He's a preacher and doing extremely well for himself. But that is someone who had it and blew it on nothing.
Stupid stuff.
And a lot of football players will do that. You're not going to make that kind of money every day of your life to the end. Probably the best example.
That income could, stop next, football game,
One of the richest that is invested and done so well is that guy Shaq.
Yeah.
He owns restaurants and more restaurants. He's into everything.
He's in with one of the, Papa John's Pizza?
I believe so, yeah. He's done well for himself, and he's always doing. I saw an ad for him this morning on a copier.
Yeah,
he's doing quite well with that also. So, what I say that in save your money for a rainy day. Don't blow everything you got at one time.
Exactly.
So keep that in mind. Whether you're celebrity or non-celebrity, you make little bitty pennies like the rest of us do.
Exactly.
Thought I'd throw that out there. And if you want to save some money and get a great looking some decor, drop and see our friend Tiffany. She'll help you out here at Tiffany's Decor Boutique. You can find this inside the Atrium Mall or in the Rustic Couture down in Quitman. I always say couture wrong. My apologies there. And as always, a military discount if you go in. Okay. If you're looking for some beauty products, these are gifts that are under $20. Maybe you need a knickknack for a gift to go somewhere. Towels, Ask Me, my house. See, those are cute. Little towels that you hang around. Of course, any type of stool. If you're looking for a place to set something, she's got all this for you there at a great price there. And just back in, the new shipment of house shoes have arrived. Fluffies. If you need a pair of fluffies, she has them for you. The last set sold out quick. So if you want some, go see her today. She'll be there. And, of course, the swimsuit cover-ups, if you like to have something around you, they got plenty of those to choose from. And if you're looking for a robe, look at there. Yeah, get one of those. Soft, they call it. If you need a top or a small dress, they've got that also there. Plenty of paintings to choose from. And a lot of these she's painted herself that you can see. They're great. Little accent to your home there. Tiffany Blue, see her there for anything that you may be looking for. They got pillows and a whole lot more there for you inside the decor. See Tiffany, she'll help you. They'll be open today until 5:30. They're Monday through Saturday. They're closed on Sunday. See them, find something for your home. They'll help you out there.
One call at a time. When you needin' help, call Richard Schwartz. One call at a time.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Jan this morning. Again, as we say hello to Candace, who took the morning off to see her son off to join the military, who's headed off to boot camp there for, I think she said 8 to 10 weeks.
What branch of the service is he going in? Do we know?
I know, but I forgot.
Marine Corps?
I'm not.
Do you know where he's going?
To Texas, to San Antonio. So where do you go in San Antonio?
That's not Marine Corps then.
She didn't.
That's either Army or Air Force, I would think.
But we wish her well with that. She's she's probably emotional still at this moment, as any parent would be.
Yeah. Well, he'll be okay.
I remember the first time Dylan Ray went on a flight by himself. It did bother me. It's your kid.
It doesn't matter how old they get. That's still your baby.
Really.
It really is. And my daughter reminds me that she's a grown up now, and I shouldn't treat her.
I bet it is
You need to do this. You need to do that.
So, Jan, what is out of all of the things that you cook? What is your best dish? What is it that you put your finger on? Because I got to do a thank you to somebody, and I'm just curious what you do is best.
I can put a meal together in about 30 minutes.
But what is that one dish that is better than everybody else's that you think you've got it?
I do a baked barbecue chicken out of chicken tenders that my husband absolutely loves. But have you ever made a Mississippi roast in the crock pot?
I've never heard of it. What is it?
All right, Mississippi roast. This is easy. Take notes here.
Notes? Pencil?
Put your roast in the crock pot. Take a whole stick of butter, slice it up. Get a package of Hidden Valley Ranch dressing mix.
Okay, I know what that
on
is.
Top. A package of all juice mix. Put that on top. 5 pepperoncini peppers put in there.
Yeah.
And then my trick is to drizzle it with zesty Italian dressing.
Over the top after it's cooked?
No,
before.
while it's cooking. And I'm telling you, 6-8 hours later, you'll have a roast that'll melt in your mouth. And I'm famous for that roast.
It's good stuff.
Because I modified it. My grandchildren say mine's better than their mama's. I said, yeah, she's going to add the zesty Italian dressing on top.
I have to say a special thank you. I went to my refrigerator yesterday, and I had a hidden note inside my refrigerator. Brought me something, snuck it in, and put me a little towel in there with for you, Scotty Ray. Thank you. And I want to say a big thank you to Jan Butler, who swung by, made me some banana pudding all for myself, and slipped it into my refrigerator without me knowing it.
Is there any still down there?
There's a little bit left. And I'm not much on cherry.
Okay.
It is a art to banana pudding. Some people just can't do it, and I'm like the critique of this. But I'd say thank you for doing that.
We used to have a friend whose mother made the best banana pudding, and she used I want to say Eagle brand in it and whipped cream in it.
Whipped cream?
Yes, it was good. I mean, mixed into the pudding itself, it was good.
So, I mean, and I don't get this. I've heard of people that want to make banana pudding without bananas and without the wafers. I have to have them. But really, they're out there.
I have to have the vanilla wafers. Don't give me some. I've seen Paula Dean do some stuff with some other kind of cookies and stuff. Let's keep it simple and basic.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
I want my bananas and my vanilla wafers in there.
So I just wanted to say thank you, Jan. That was so kind of you to do that for me. You didn't have to, and you did. And I want to say thank you.
Oh, that Jan.
That Jan. But if you want to sneak some of your stuff in my refrigerator and tell me about it later. As we turn to this headline, and, a lot of the dollars that were put out from the government went to rebuild this town. As you look at this, and I found this interesting. I wanted to share the pictures with you. This is what it looked like last year. as it was burning, and this is what it looks like now. They've rebuilt it. Yeah, I don't know how many millions of dollars have went into this. This is what it looked like here on this particular street. Since then, it's been rebuilt there. Why burn stores? I don't know.
And what does that accomplish?
It doesn't.
That's just an excuse.
It is, and you know, a lot of
Act like
it
an idiot.
put so many people out of business that were hard workers. Your mom and pops can't rebuild. Insurance does not cover everything. But that's been going on for a year there, and I thought I would share that little bit there as we looked at a few of those. Were you a James Dean fan? Some people thought he was
so.
it.
He was that bad boy, you know. He had that
Rebel without a
you know,
cause.
Yeah, but
His car that he died in, and I didn't realize that thing had been split up, and they've been selling parts off of it ever since his death. And they just found another part of it, and it sold for $382,000. Just the transaxle from his Porsche.
Why?
That
What are you going to
right
do
there.
with that? Put it on display somewhere?
Apparently so.
Again, the stuff people spend money on is just crazy.
That was the car, and that was the transaxle
Yeah.
from $382,000 for that. I don't see the fascination on
I
that.
don't either. I'd like to know what they're going to do with it. I mean, really.
As we go to Nashville, this has been a uproar. A lady who owns a hat store there made these stars, and she was attaching them to hats that said, "I've been vaccinated." Stetson has pulled all of their hats out of their store because it was the Star of David, and it looked almost like as if it was the Jewish people, the Nazi star. Here it is.
Nazi star,
The Jewish star, what the Nazis put on them. And I said that wrong, but they have pulled all of their hats out of the store. Other stores are following behind this. That's the star right there that she made there, that I've been vaccinated. And an uproar in Nashville this morning.
I'm confused.
It was, "I've been vaccinated."
I know,
and
but the Star of David is
Right.
not a Nazi thing, is it?
well, that's what they put on all the Jewish people to when they sent them off to the camps.
I did not know that.
Yes, and that's how they identified you had that star on you if you were Jewish, the Star of David, and you were sent off to the concentration camps.
I learned something new this morning.
And that is what all this is about. And other hat makers are pulling their stores out of that. She says it was a mistake. I don't know, but
I'm sure she wasn't thinking of it in those terms, you know.
but it's cost her dearly there in Nashville.
Oh my word!
So that is a headline that you'll see somewhere today. If you see anything about the Star of David, that's it. It's a.
I'm gonna do a little research on all that because I thought the Star of David was a positive emblem.
It was, and they branded the Jewish people when they were sent off to concentration camps. A sad day in history for that.
You know, there's actually people who still deny that even took
I know,
place. It's
and
crazy.
It did.
We had a girl who was married to a military guy when we were stationed in Hawaii, and her father, she was German, and her father was in the SS, and she just did not believe that the Holocaust even took place,
And it did.
and it did.
We want to say thank y'all for dropping by. We're going to be back tomorrow morning. Jan, thank you for coming in this morning and filling in for Candace.
Good.
Again, it's been a great time. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning, beginning at 8 o'clock, right here on MeTV. Thank y'all for dropping by and spending a few moments with us.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by